Hi, Sarah.
Hello, everyone. I'm here with Mr. Ian Landstein. Can you tell us what you did on Saturday?
Last Saturday, I completed the Lumberjack 50-mile endurance run. I have been an aid station and a fan of this race for years, and finally put in the work and dedication and asked for help in order to enter it and finish it. And I did that.
And how did that feel?
Honestly, afterwards, I felt a whole lot better than I thought I was going to feel. I really thought I was going to be death marching across the finish line because 50 miles is just so far and feels beyond human capability, especially one that's never done a good ultra. But no, I was able to run the the fourth lap, predominantly run it,
Even in the dark and the rain.
even in the dark and the rain. Uh, yeah,
So,
that part wasn't hard.
okay.
Actually, living in the Pacific Northwest, you have to run in the dark and the rain, or you don't get to run for 50% of the year.
It's true. Did you feel prepared?
Yes, yes, I felt prepared. Well, in the beginning, I didn't know what I was going to need, but the things I did to prepare worked. Nutrition worked. Hydration worked. Gear, shoes, pace worked because I practiced and I looked to what was on the safe side of all those things to make sure they would work during 50 miles.
Do you feel like your training went well to prepare you for the 50 miles?
See, I don't know how better or worse. Well, I guess I know it could have gone worse, but I don't know what better looks like yet. I know what I could have done more of, and that was the accessory work: more downhill, more uphill, more speed work, more slow work. But the habits I was in to prepare for this were adequate. But the training, I could have been more diligent. That's what I know. I could have definitely done worse, and it would have felt worse. Done worse by not trained as much, not made a commitment to training as much as I did, uh, and it would have been worse for sure.
So, I heard you say yet. Does that mean you're already thinking about running another 50-mile race?
It's not. It's not out of the question, but I don't know what will inspire me to do it again. I would need that. This race had a lot of inspiration behind it, and I would need that again to do it again.
All right. So, this race, the Lumberjack, what was the worst part?
The worst part was chafage
I've
on
heard
the
that one a lot.
on the last lap, and the the attraction that was the start finish of people who have already finished or dropped. In fact, a lot of them had dropped and were ready to just have a good time. And I was really wanting to have a good time with them. But I knew that if I didn't follow through with this thing I committed to and trained for, I wouldn't know what it was like to actually do it successfully. I would beat myself up over that a whole lot more than doing another lap. So that was the hardest part, the final lap commitment.
Yeah, this was a hard year, and the chafage. The day started out warm and humid and then got wet. So I heard a lot of complaints about chafing. So good job on getting it done on a year that a lot of people dropped.
I'm actually blown away by how many people dropped. These were names of people I've idealized and watched, and I've seen do 100 miles on that very same course in what I thought were similar conditions, but
Every race is different.
every race is different.
What was the best part of the Lumberjack?
Specifically the Lumberjack course or the race, like my race.
How about both?
Specifically the Lumberjack course, there's a section first between the first aid station. I'd say the first half. The first half of the course is gorgeous. Even Babcock. Babcock has its attractions. I mean, you feel like you're really in the wilderness there. And then Wild West is just gorgeous. And then the transition from Wild West down into the reservoir or resource ridge area, you can see the mountains to your right. You're in this canopy of forest that feels like it's a church of trees. And yeah, that was just great.
Port Gamble Trails. Really nice place to run, huh?
The course is great. The course is very pretty. Ewok's pretty. I mean, the whole thing is very pretty. Chris did a great job picking the course.
So what was the best part of your specific run?
Wow, the family. I had such a big support section. I had a whole tent that was like full of my family cheering me on. It was just incredible. It was so easy to have a positive mental attitude when there's half a dozen people giving you high fives and your kiddos are saying, "Have a good race, Dad." Oh, it's so good.
So is it safe to say that the support makes it possible for people to do races?
The support is almost like a performance-enhancing drug.
Okay.
It will make a difference in your race. I'm sure of it. If you don't have good support, there's not as much wind in your sails. There's not as big a smile on your face, and that makes a difference.
Well, not everyone can have their family at a race. How about the people at the aid stations? Are they helpful as far as support and getting you?
Yes, always positive. Especially the Poulsbo running crew and the Turtle Rockets and Slippery Pig Brewery. I mean, I'm partial, but it's still, every time you come through, there's talk of being a superhero. There's anything you want and need, even if it's not right there, they'll try to get it for you the next loop. Yeah, it's support. I look forward to every aid station.
All right, awesome. Was there anything that you thought of during the race or now that you're a few days out that you would do differently?
I actually would have ran a little faster. I was very conservative on my first 3 laps, and I could tell because I could run the majority of the 4th lap. And some of the hills I walked, I really didn't change my heart rate if I was running if I had a faster pace on them. So I'd be more specific about which hills and which portions of the course I walked, but then tried to run the rest.
All right. So you definitely were trained as far as the running went and going into this.
Yes, but again, I could have done better on the specifics, the work, the speed work, the slow work, and the down and up hills, and it would have aided my really good engine, my really good legs, much better.
Okay. Do you have any advice for someone who wants to run a 50-mile or specifically the Lumberjack?
To run a 50-mile, my advice is to live running. Be good at living running for a long period of time. Either the things on you or the things in your car are things that you enjoy having on a run. Before, after a run, figure that all out. Because it was 16 hours I was running. I had to have things comfortable and be used to those things for 16 hours. So the more often you can run and the more comfortable you can be doing it, that 50 miles, that 16 hours won't be a torture fest, won't be boring, won't be obnoxious, indigestion, unattractive. And specifically the Lumberjack, advice for someone, volunteer for an aid station. Before you commit to it, come out to the aid station, whatever one you just show up at the start finish and say you want to help. They'll send you to where they could use help most.
I think we've volunteered out there 6 years in different capacities.
Do a loop. The loop is even at a walking / running pace, 3.5 hours. It's not
just over 12.5 miles.
Even if you walked it, the hard parts still be 3 or 4 hours that you're learning the course, and it's gorgeous. It's worth it.
Yeah, I spoke to someone who was part of the race who said he was not going to run one step, and after 2 loops he'd kept to that. He had not run a step and he was still set to finish. He was power hiking, and Lumberjack has very generous cutoff, so if you're looking to try a new distance without the pressure of a time cutoff.
Oh yeah, I did not feel pressured to run faster. I was only encouraged to have a good time.
Anything else you want to add?
It's the work. It's the little stuff. The time that you get up and run in the rain, in the cold, in the dark. Maybe those aren't little, but the little things add up. Try all the things, all the inclement things you can before you're in it and doing it, and you don't know, and it's a shock to you. Running in the night with a headlamp was not a shock to me. In the rain was not a shock to me. It was something I'd done a lot.
Every Monday for all of winter, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that having a coach to create a training plan for you helped?
Look, I'm partial to your success and to your ideals and strategy, but I'm still a 35-year-old male who's never particularly been a runner. I'm into fitness. I used to be an endurance swimmer, but she believed I could do this, programmed me appropriately to try it, and I did it, and I did it well because I followed a training plan that had cross training, that had those specific speed work, hill work, downhill work, programmed in a way that I could actually do it with 2 kids and a new business and traditional family issues here and there, including the birth of a baby. And I could do it. So yeah, I would not have had such a good time if there wasn't someone coaching me, someone helping me be successful and have a good time doing it.
All right.
You did that, for sure.
Good, I'm glad. It was excellent. I got to spend all day out at the race, supporting. I was at the aid stations. I helped at the finish line. Sully, who's just off camera, smiling at us, spent all day there as well. And he's always good for a smile. So I think few runners were very happy to see a smiling, happy baby when they came across. I even had one person ask to hold him.
Yeah, we can't guarantee a baby during every race.
But no, it was fun coaching you and getting to program around things like a new baby. That was interesting right at the peak of your training too.
And I wanted to swim and I wanted to bike, and that entered into my training plan in a way that I believe was complementary.
So.
Pacing. I'm ready to pace anything. I could go pace the night. I could go pace the rain. In the rain, I think that's what I want to do now, is just be a pacer, because I can bring the positivity and I can bring the good times at just about whatever pace you want in whatever race you want for a time, for maybe half marathon or marathon level distances. I don't know if I'd stick with you the whole 50.
All right. Well, congratulations. You're a 50-mile finisher.
Thanks for that.
Love you.
Feels really good. Love you too.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Bye, everybody.